You got kids these days, 12, 13, 15, 17 years old. No one's actually telling them what to do with their life. And I'll tell you, this is not complex stuff. You want to know what you do when you're 13 years old, when you're 15 years old, when you're 17 years old? Work out. Yep, lift weights to get bigger and stronger. Go to jiu-jitsu or boxing or wrestling or Muay Thai so you know how to fight. Do that. Eat good foods. That's what you should do. You shouldn't be drinking. Drinking and drugs, they're not good for you. They don't help you in any way. Don't do them. Don't spend a bunch of time on video games or looking at Instagram. Don't do that. It's not good for you. It doesn't help you. Try and get smarter. You get smarter by reading a book, studying, so you can dominate in life. That's what you do. And I don't think there's people telling 17-year-old boys, 15-year-old boys, 13-year-old boys that that's it, what they need to do. So I'm telling them.
Love it, man. Love this short. So this is like one of the reasons why, I came to you, I talked to you about this, why I wanted to start doing this. To talk, this specifically is what we're doing, who we're speaking to, our audience is we're speaking to men out there, right? We're speaking to males. We're wanting to go ahead and give them the best advice that we can off of our experiences and what we've learned, our knowledge, everything else. The other thing is we want to let them know that they're not alone. We want to go ahead and let them know that there's other people out there who have gone through your experience, who understand what you're going through, the pressures of society and just being a man, period, are putting on you. And we want to let you know how to go ahead and mitigate that, what to do next. And of course, just like he says on here, I mean, Jocko's great. First off, shout out to Jocko. Jocko's amazing. He puts out great stuff. What he's saying about what to do is important. But, one of the things, or the things that he says not to do is not new. It's not new to say, hey, don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, don't do these things, right? But what happens is that we hear these things and it goes in one ear and out the other, right? And we won't care. Guess what? What do these kids do? These teenagers do? They go out, they party, they drink, they think it's cool, whatever, because they see this, which is something else he says don't do, is they see this on social media. They see this from influencers. They see this from people they look up to. That's why, like, for instance, and I started kind of thinking about this, been playing with this a little bit, kind of seeing how this works when implementing in my own life. But one of the things as well is, like, when you drink in front of kids, when you smoke in front of kids, when you do those certain things, a lot of these kids that are in front of you, they look up to you in some way, form, or fashion, whether you believe it or not. They don't need to know your everyday life or anything like that. All they need to know is, oh, hey, that's Uncle Rich. Hey, that's my brother Rich. Hey, that's my boy, whatever, hey, that's my dad's friend. Hey, that's my uncle, whatever. At that point, whatever you do, it's like, oh my gosh, it's, basking light and everything else. And this is why you need to be careful. One of the things as well is be careful with what you say. Because they're going to parakeet that, they're going to get what you say and say it as well. And they're not going to say it in front of you. They're going to say it around their friends. And then it spreads from their friends to their families, to others' kids and all this other thing. So it's very important, the things not to do. But like we talked about in the previous video, is it's about your actions. Make sure that you're not doing this. That's huge. But yeah, man, like, and there's something else that I want to go into as well. But yeah, as far as when you're a teenager, I definitely say that once you're 12, you need to start implementing these things. Like, you need to have your kids start implementing this, either implementing it on them, having them do it by you doing it with them, and then them, of course, branching off on their own. Yes, working out. Yes, being in some type of self-defense. Okay. Some type of classes, something like that, but also with the knowledge, right? With your head, you want to start picking up books, doing audiobooks, whatever it is, whatever their learning preference is, but making sure that they're continuing to gather that knowledge. And the other thing that's very important that a lot of people forget is that you don't need to go to school for this. You don't need to be a part of a class or group or anything like that. You can do this yourself. That's like saying, oh, I can't go to the gym because I can't afford to, sign up for a spin class, or I can't afford gym membership. Like, no, there's such things as public libraries. You look up YouTube, what you're watching right now. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff is free. All you have to do is you have to look for it. You have to want it. If you're a parent, I would definitely say that you need to go ahead and bring this out. You need to put out the best actions for your children. Because at this point in time, guess what? You're living for them. Like, you need to do and be the best that you can be so that they can be the best that they can be. So that's important, man. But yeah, working out, making sure that you're getting that knowledge, of course, finances, you need to implement this early as well. The earlier that you start with money, the earlier that you start working out, the earlier you start with knowledge, the faster that you're going to get to these points where when you're 20, when you're 30, you're already going to be surpassing all these other people, and that's the goal, is to get to these points faster than everybody else so that you can retire before everybody else, right? So that you can have that financial freedom to do whatever you want. That's what I personally think is retirement. Is when you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, that's retirement. It's not an age. Doesn't mean you have to turn 65, 55, whatever. It's not what it is. If I can go ahead and be like, I don't like my job, deuce, and do nothing, like, cool. If I can say, hey, you know what, I'm going to take 2 months off just because I want to go travel, I want to do this, I want to do that, and not feel any financial restraint with it, deuce. Like, that's retirement, right? That's the financial freedom. So yeah, man, I really like this. Jocko's amazing. I don't have anything bad to say about him.
Yeah, man, I really like this video too. It came up, when I was on YouTube, and I was like, man, this is a really good video. I wanted to share it. Let's discuss about it, right? Talks about, when your young men are coming up, what they need to go out and do some stuff, right? Lift some weights, exercise, eat clean. He also mentioned, doing some type of self-defense, right? Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. And I want to kind of make a note on that because jiu-jitsu, it's not cheap, right? So there's expenses that come with that. But if you are, a teenager, or even if you're a young adult and you think you can't afford it, I would challenge you to go out and ask. I'll challenge you to multiple ways, but if you're an adult, I would challenge you to maybe go try to make some extra money to pay for that, or to do something like that, or take some classes if you can, right? If you're a younger kid, go talk to the gym owners and say, hey, you know what can I do to lower costs or potentially get a free membership? Maybe some gyms will try to work with you. They'll tell you, well, come clean, or come do this, or come maybe do some stuff around the building, or whatever it may be. But, and if you're a young kid, you're a teenager, if you come with your parents, hey, mom, dad, look, this gym owner told me I could get a discounted rate if I do go clean the mats, or whatever it may be. Your parents will take you a little more seriously about it, right? So that's another note, right? And like you said, if you can't do it yet, maybe you don't think there's enough funds, then do other exercises for now. Then I think making that a goal, or being able to do that's awesome. And if you're a dad out there, I'll challenge you. If you can't afford it, go in there and train with your son, right? If your son sees you training, that's huge. For those that know, I train jiu-jitsu, right? And there's a lot of parents that train and their kids train, right? So they're trying to set that good example and for their kids. I think it's awesome, right? Sometimes whole families train, and that's awesome. It's a culture, and they're trying to get those kids to be able to defend themselves and be able to. It's also like, when you're exercising or doing that stuff, it molds your mind, like we kind of mentioned in some other videos, right? You're able to challenge yourself mentally, right? Because, it's not, world out there is not always sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be lots of times where you got to challenge yourself mentally, physically, and you got to be able to be out there, right? He also talks about, not spending too much time on some things, right? Like, Instagram or video games, and mention, he doesn't say not play, right? He doesn't say like don't play at all, but he just says don't spend too much time on it, right? So I'm not telling you to cut it out completely, but hey, don't let those things overcome your life, right? Don't let them don't let them prevent you from doing the other things, right? Don't let them prevent you from working out and stuff. So, being able to have that fun leisure, but also being able to take care of business, day in and day out, I think it's important, right? So it's a nice, good video, right? Overall, because he hits everything, right? Working out, education, reading books, stuff like that. So quick 1 minute video, which is great. I think if you, if y'all haven't heard of Jocko before, I would definitely check him out. He's got podcast videos, he's got books. We read one of his books, Extreme Ownership, and I think it's really good really good book that you could incorporate into your life day in and day out. And, this is a great little snippet. Check it out. Hope we, if you like these videos, we definitely could do more about Jocko or any other ones. Just let us know, guys.
Guys, make sure you like the video, comment on there, start a discussion. If there's something you want to hear more of, less of, whatever you think, go ahead and put it in the comments below, and then we'll go ahead and try to implement it, or we'll talk about it, start a discussion with each other. Even if you don't like the video, hit that thumbs down, whatever. Make sure you subscribe though.